It's AFCON day 4, and here are a few things I have to say about the games that were played yesterday and today. Hi, my name is Kunda KC, and welcome back to Inside Zimbabwean Sports, where we talk all things Zimbabwean football, global football, and also African football, which is the talk of the town these days. So, a lot of games were played yesterday. I think there were about 4 games. We had Senegal versus Botswana, where we saw Nicholas Jackson scoring a brace, and Senegal won 3-0. But of course, kudos to the Botswana goalkeeper because he had about 14 saves in the box. Rowa about 7-0, but fortunately for them, well, unfortunately, of course, because they lost, but at least the goalkeeper saved the team from a huge embarrassment or the biggest battering of their lives in the history of AFCON 2025, and they just were 3-0 down, which is unfortunate for them, but of course, kudos to Senegal because they have lots of stars. They have Nicholas Jackson, who was playing for Chelsea. And you know what's funny is that Nicholas Jackson just decides to become prime Drogba at moments that actually matter. Because I've been seeing his play at Bayern Munich. He's been doing really well. And he wasn't doing that when he was at Chelsea. I mean, don't get me wrong, he was not bad, but he was not our best striker as well. But then, I mean, when it matters, he's doing the Lord's work, and he's a great player. He's a good player. It's just that sometimes, yesterday we also had Nigeria and Tanzania. Nigeria won 2-1, and you know what was funny about that game? I was watching it. Nigeria were up 1-0, right? And then Tanzania, I think they scored an equalizer. I think around the 41st minute. And I was like, yeah, Tanzania is back in the game. Because, I was supporting my SADC countries. Their joy was so short-lived because I think a few minutes, not even minutes, a few seconds after the kickoff started, Pavaka scored goal. Nigeria scored. Nigeria scored, and it was 2-1 up until game rapia. I was so hurt on their behalf because their joy was so short-lived. But, I mean, kudos to Nigeria because they have lots of stars. They have Iwobi, they have Basi, they have Chukwuemeza, they have Osimhen. They have quite a lot of big people who play in big clubs. So I didn't expect them to lose. But Tanzania really put up a fight. And it goes on to show AFCON, Musawe Makajairama teams. It can be anybody's game if you guys are not serious. I mean, look what Zimbabwe did to Egypt. A lot of people are talking about it on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, saying that Zimbabwe made Egypt struggle to the point where Egypt had to find a last-minute winner to win the game. If it wasn't for that, we were probably going to draw, or we were probably going to win if Egypt was not serious enough after the first half. Of course, our lack of experience and some changes that we did that were not so appropriate and lack of creativity made us lose, but still we put up a fight. Like Takai Vurumutsa Egypt. Honestly speaking, Takai Vurumutsa, because people were expecting it to be a walkover. Even Egypt expected Tinongono Shikatono Irova Zimbabwe 7-0, but it wasn't like that. They just beat us 2-1. And it was not as bad as people thought it would. So never underestimate any team in AFCON. Anything is possible. And we also had another drama yesterday, which happened between DR Congo and Benin. Of course, the game was in favor of Congo 1-0, and Benin was so angry because they were denied of a penalty. Why? Because VAR decided to go on load shedding for 10 minutes at the time that it was needed the most. The penalty could not be awarded because VAR was not working. How do you even explain that to a normal human being? How is that not juju, guys? Because tell me why game race vaigushanda. Parukudiwa penalty vaishashanda. And then what happens? Congo wins. Of course, maybe we could have said, maybe Benin are gonna also touch the penalty because so far in AFCON we haven't seen any penalty being scored. My penalty is going save cannot people are skyrocketing it. Apana penalty and apinda so far since the first day up until today. So it goes on to say, sometimes life is so unfair and things happen in a way that we don't expect. And of course, Benin lost. They never got another chance to score. And that was it. But should I say kudos to Congo? Because I didn't watch the game, so I don't really know what happened. I just saw the drama, Pama highlights, and I was like, she needs not to etika. But anyways, the last game of the day yesterday was Tunisia versus Uganda. I was expecting, of course, Tunisia to batter Uganda because, I mean, it's Tunisia. These North African countries, they are unreal, guys. Morocco, Tunisia, Algeria, Egypt. All these countries, they are very good. Their football is good, and I feel like they have like world-class players and world-class stadiums, even their academies. Because Morocco, is it under 17 or is it under 20? They won their World Cup under 17 or under 20. I'm not sure which one, but it's like you can see Guti talent yawe inobva kuvana vadiki, and it grows on up until national team level, yevanhu vakuru, the senior team, right? And eventually that's how they manage to breed their players, because from a young age they breed them, and it just goes on like that, as compared to us tinoda kutanga kubreed players edu at 22 munhu ndopaanotanga kutambira national team. It's a bit different from these North African countries. But yeah, kudos to Tunisia, they won 3-1. And Uganda, it's quite sad, it's quite unfortunate. But the thing is, I was happy that they scored that last minute one goal. Of course, it was not going to change anything, but yakango rijuso GD nekubvisanyadzi, because it's like kufamba moshika motadza kuscore zvakaita Botswana. It's quite sad. But at least if you score something, you go out group stage and you go back home. You go back home with something saying, oh, we scored one goal. And we defended the others very well. Although Kwakazopins got 3. I mean, we conceded 3. It's still fine. But yeah, kudos to Uganda for putting up a fight. Of course, kudos to Tunisia because I think they scored the first 2 goals in the first 30 minutes of the game. I already knew that the game was theirs because they were dominating the field. And then today, what did we have? Today we had Burkina Faso and Equatorial Guinea. That game was entertaining. Game Ranga Richispaka. You know how it started? The referee was very strict. He was giving Anthony Taylor, I don't remember his name, but he was giving Anthony Taylor vibes. Muna nongo buditama yellow card, kungo kosora yellow card, kutaurisa yellow card. He was not joking at all. And I remember he gave the first red card of the tournament, which was at the 50th minute because of a stupid, foolish challenge that was done by someone from Equatorial Guinea. And then they were down to 10 men, right? Thinking that they'll be down to 10 men would give Burkina Faso a chance, not quite, because they scored in the 80th minute and then it was 1-0. And Burkina Faso at that time, they were losing 1-0 to 10 men Equatorial Guinea, right? And then I was like, Guinea Rugujita. Then the ref, I think they gave extra time, 8 minutes for stoppage time, right? That's when I knew this is going to be a draw or a win, because Burkina Faso was now behaving like how Mo Salah behaved when he had kuti 5 minutes extra time. Akatipana apart again, this score when this varies Zimbabwe itsamwe. That is exactly what Burkina Faso did today. And I was very angry because I was rooting for Guinea, because they had like a disadvantage kuti vanga vasina imwe player, right? 90 plus 5, go Bora 1-1. 90 plus 8, go Bora 2-1. And that was the end of it. Like, just like that, guys. Kuva, Gambridge Tank, Kushikapa 88th minute. There were no goals. 80th minute, 1-0. 90 plus 5, 1-1. 90 plus 8, Jatupera. Then game is over. I was just like, AFCON has got to be one of the most entertaining tournaments in history, because how is this even possible? Like, tell me how, So it was quite unfortunate for EG, but kudos to EG, for putting up a fight with 10 men. You would expect them they will be battered like 3-4-5-0, but try out. But anyways, what else did we have today? I have to check my notes because a lot has just been going on today. Okay, we had Algeria and Sudan. The second red card of the tournament, same day. Tatonema red card 2. Second red card of the tournament. Sudan got the red card, of course, and Algeria, they won 3-0. And Mahrez, he scored a brace. Of course, Mahrez is one of the best players in Algeria. I think he's now 34 years old, even at above 30. At 30 plus, he's still soaring high. He's still doing really, really well. Kudos to Algeria. I mean, what else do you expect? Takaro Isusuni Algeria 3-1. Algeria is a very good team. And of course, they were the favorites to win this game. And we had Ivory Coast and Mozambique. Mozambique really put up a fight. Like, they really did put up a fight. And I was talking to my mom and she was saying, I'm supporting Mozambique because, it's Southern Africa. Of course, I mean, yeah, what else can we say? Yeah, but like, it goes on to say you shouldn't underestimate any team, but of course the better team will always win. Panozopinda vanhu experience paya. Ivory Coast obviously won 1-0, and Diallo from Manchester United was the one who led Ivory Coast to a win. So kudos to them, kudos to Ivory Coast, the whole team, and also to Mozambique, because you really defended well, guys. You could have been battered 3-4-5, but you really defended well so that Musa Zorowe dignity. And we also had, what else did we have today? We had Cameroon and Gabon. You know, Gabon, I don't know what to say about them. Because the thing is, they had so many chances, and I think they had equally the same amount of shots as Cameroon, but they still couldn't get a goal. Like they just still could not get a goal. It was very, very unfortunate because they lost so many chances, and I think at the very last minute they almost scored, but you know, some good defending of course happened, and kudos to Cameroon. They won 1-0. They could have gotten more, but also Gabon was defending really well, so it was really neck on neck, but the better team, guys, the better team will always win. And my Manchester United boys today, they were really shining because Diallo, he scored at Ivory Coast, in the Ivory Coast game, I mean. And even though Mbeumo didn't score, but he was doing really well. He was playing really well in his game. I really can't wait to see Ivory Coast versus Cameroon. I'm sure it's going to be a very, very interesting game. I'm sure it's going to be so much fun because it's going to be a battle of the giants, because Ivory Coast, they're the defending champions of this tournament. So it's going to be nice, but we will see. But let me know, guys, what you think about what's been happening. I mean, AFCON is just full of drama. VAR, Kadzim, my red card, you know, the Zambian guy who tried to do a cartwheel and he ended up landing on his neck. It's just everything is just so crazy, but it's quite interesting. But I'm hoping to see more interesting stuff in the next few days up until the end of the tournament. And on the 26th, of course, the game that I am anticipating the most is Angola versus Zimbabwe. Coach Vatanzi Vadzoka from injury. We have Sean Fusire, I think Knowledge Msona, I mean, as well. And also other players who are now fit to play, who didn't manage to play in the previous game. So hopefully this time the formation will be better. Hopefully we win. It's Angola, guys. We know. We Angola even. We know. Please, I'm just begging you, please win the game. Please, guys. But anyways, I will back my Warriors all the way. Win, lose, draw, you are still my people, and I love you very much. But thank you so much for listening, and tomorrow is Christmas Day, or should I say today, because I'm probably going to post this on Christmas. So I wish you a Merry Christmas, guys. I hope you enjoy your Christmas. I'm already ready with my Christmas nails, if you can see. But yes, hope you enjoy your Christmas. Please be responsible. Please, if you are driving, drive responsibly. We don't want to hear any tragedies out there. And also just enjoy time with your family, your friends, and whatever you're going to do. Just remember, God is with you, and stay blessed. We will see each other again on the 26th of December. Good day.